All right, guys, we are ready to go. I am so excited to be here with all of you. If you're joining us on Facebook, you guys can comment here. If you're watching the replay later, go ahead and comment #replay. And as always, if you guys have questions, start commenting and we will be able to answer them afterwards after we get off. If you have a specific question to somebody that's talking today, you can tag them in the comments. And I know these ladies would be happy to answer anything for you. But if we haven't met yet, my name is Ashley Walmer, and I am your Director of Field Development here at Bravenly, which just means I have the best job in the whole wide world. I get to help support all of you guys and growing your businesses. But today I am joined with a few incredible, amazing women that are a part of Bravenly. We have a very prestigious title that we only really ever, from a corporate standpoint, dish out once a year, and that's at our conference. And that is the 10K Club, meaning you have to do 10,000 in sales, right? Like in order to even be a part of that club. Now you guys are able to track that in your back offices. When you go to qualifications, you're able to see a column that says lifetime PBV, personal bonus volume. And once that number hits 10,000, you're technically in the club. We just only do recognition from it once a month, but you guys can shout each other out. I've loved seeing people get to the 5K club or the 15K club. We have somebody on here that just blew past the 15K club. But I am so excited that you guys are going to get to hear from these incredible women sharing their tips on how not only are they acquiring customers, but also retaining them. And so what your PBV is, it's your orders, your retail customer orders, your ambassador customer orders, and remember, your ambassadors have a link, which means that they can send that link out to their family and friends and enroll them as retail customers and ambassadors. And anybody that does that also goes into your PBV. Okay, so I am super, super excited. I'm going to introduce you to a legacy founder and vice president. Her name is Lisa Johnson. She is an incredible rock star, amazing woman, has such a heart for the Lord and her team, and not just her team, but everybody at Bravenly. And before she unmutes and kind of shares some of her stats, or not her stats, her tips, I'm going to share some of her stats. Okay, so Lisa has well over 10,000. She's sitting right over almost to 1,200 right now, 11,734 in lifetime PBV. So she's been in since the very beginning, day one. So it means she's been in for 16 months. You guys, that's an average of 733 a month. Okay, so she is in the 700 club on average every single month. Okay, she's enrolled 6 retail customers and 25 ambassadors for a total of 31. So she's averaging about 2 new every single month. Do you guys know what that tells me right there? If she's already averaging 700 club every month and she's averaging 2 customers, that means her personal orders are awesome and she's retaining those customers, right? Because those are just new numbers. So Lisa, if you could unmute and kind of share some of your tips of how you are doing this with all of us, we would really, really appreciate it.
Well, hello, Ashley. First of all, congrats to you on doing an amazing job with all the resources you provide for us. So thank you for doing these Monday motivations. You're pretty incredible. So again, I'm Lisa. I live in a small town, 400 people. And I know we're supposed to talk about what we're good at. I'm going to talk to you about what I'm not necessarily good at, and that is social media. I think it's great that people are all over social media waving those Bravenly flags. Keep doing that. That's incredible. And it's great for the company. I am good at belly to belly. And so first of all, you guys, we get to buy from ourselves. I have 8 kids. I don't know if you guys all know this, but I have 8 kids. And a lot of them are using the product. And yes, Ashley and I were just talking. She came and stayed with me when she was in Nebraska. And I've had to limit my family on some of that rush and some of the glow and some of the coffee, but we are users of our product. And this is one of the few companies that I know of that allow us to use our personal volume for these enhanced commissions. You guys, we get paid back for using our own product. And my family loves coffee. They did love the energy drinks. Now they use the Rush, but we go through a lot of products. So of course I'm going to buy from ourselves, and that is part of my volume. But the other part of it is because I try to be on social media, but I'm not great at social media. Kudos to those of you that are. I love watching you. But I do have one left at home that's in athletics. And we have this product called Rush that is incredible for our athletes and get these kids off of these energy drinks. So I will always have samples on me ready to go for people to buy. I will sample them out once in a while, and I'm using them and I can sell them anytime I want. And that in return does add customers to my customer base. And I do remind them, you do have a link, and several of them are using those too. So mine is pretty simple. I am a user of our products and I love to share belly to belly. So that is how I retain a lot of my customers and get those new customers.
Absolutely. I love it. I've watched you do it in person. I've watched you sell on the spot and add that income back into your family. So, and it was funny, you guys, when I was pulling some of these reports and stats, Lisa is one. There is also a report called Ambassador Organizations. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I've seen how Lisa does have a few customers that have enrolled a few customers. How cool is that, right? So, okay, we are going to move over to Miss Coley, and she is our lady that's on today that has the highest PBV. Okay, so she's done well over 16,000. And she's been in for 16 months. That was easy math. She's averaging about 1,000 in volume every single month coming in from her customers, you guys. That literally, it blew me away. That is so incredible, which means she is in the 700 club average every single month. Some months you'll see her above that, and some months maybe just 400 club, but right, averaging 1,000 and averaging the 700 club. This woman has 22 retail customers, 71 ambassadors. When I told her that number, I watched her eyes go, whoa, like, I don't even know if she realized that, right? That's 93 customers that she's enrolled since she got started 16 months ago. So that's an average of, she's enrolling 5 to 6 a month. Her average enrollment is about 157 per customer. You guys, what that shows me is she's selling bundles. Okay. So she's selling more than just one product. And obviously that number doesn't equate, for some of that is retention, right? So some of those customers may be just getting coffee, but then it's making up for some of those other things. So Coley, if you could unmute and share us some of your tips, some of the things that you do every month to help you get that volume.
Okay, so hi, I'm Coley. I'm not nervous at all. I love doing these things. You know, I'm a nervous wreck. My heart is beating so fast. So if I stumble over my words, bear with me. Okay, so my first tip, and I do have notes because I go all over the place. But my first tip is on the first day of each month, look back on how you did last month and then try to figure out what kind of goal you want for the current month. Because the way I see it, you can't go anywhere if you don't know where you're going. We don't get in the car and just start driving without actually having a destination. So that's key. Obviously, we have the success steps as our monthly goal. That should be our goal. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we miss it, but just having a goal outside of that, like whether it's to get a certain number of customers or to have a certain number of volume, you want to get into the 700 club, whatever it is, just have a goal, put it somewhere where you can see it. I keep mine on our fridge. We have a little board and I write it. So my goal every month is to hit at least 700. So I'll put 700 and I'll put the volume that I'm at. Every time I get an order, I'll have one of my kids will do a little happy dance. We change the number. So it's fun. It's something that I look forward to. My kids look forward to. So it's sort of been incorporated into our days as a family. Another one is to streamline the order process. If that means hopping on the phone with a customer and walking them through the order, or actually getting their information and putting in the order for them, I highly recommend it, because the way I see it, customer service is a big deal, especially with what we do. We are the customer service, so get your A game on. And, people won't go back to a restaurant or go back to a store if they got poor service. So make sure that you're actually there for your customers. You're giving them your time. I've been on the phone with someone for 2 hours just talking through the kind of issues they have. People need people, so be there for them. I mean, I have the luxury of working from home most days. I mostly do Bravenly. So I do have that time. Yes, it takes away from my family, if it's in the evening, but still, I build a relationship with my customer, and they order over and over again, and they order bundles. So that's another tip. Another one is to think of your website as like your online store. So don't just post when we have a promo, please. Post all the time. Let people know what kind of products we have, so that when we do have a promo and you go and you start talking about it, people who've watched you and have been drawn to a specific product, they'll see the promo and they'll be in your inbox and adding the cart. And so don't just work when we have something new. Be consistent. Post about your favorite products, post about products that you use that you can talk for days about, because people will feel your excitement and kind of be drawn to that. And you make yourself more relatable in that sense, as opposed to just someone who walks by once a month with a for sale, promo sign, and then leaves and you don't see them until the next sign. So if you do that, if that's all that you do, people will think of you as, oh, what's the sale now? As opposed to, oh, this person is using these products all the time, always talking about it. And now there's a promo and she's just as excited as I'm about to be, because she's promoting something that I've been wanting to try, and now it's on sale. So that's another tip. Now, this next one I learned from Alexis, so I can't take credit for it, but create a customer group chat that allows you to keep in touch with your customers. You can go in there and share the promos. Yes, they get the emails, but it's nice to, I don't know about you, but I get tons of emails. So sometimes it's nice to have that little reminder just to say, hey, we have this on sale. And then the day before a promo ends, just go back in there and say, hey, it's the last couple of days, you might want to get your order in. It's also a good way to teach your brand ambassadors how to use their credit, product credit, without, individually teaching them. So I just go in there, I made a little cheat sheet and show it. And then when there's a promo, I'll go in there and say, hey, remember, most of you have product credit. Try to use that up. You can use it to place your order. So do that. Whenever someone places a new customer joins and places an order, I add them to the chat. I'll say, thank you for your order. I don't say what they ordered, because I think that's a personal issue. Maybe someone doesn't want to know about their whole business. So I never say thank you for your whatever you ordered. I just say thank you for your order. And then whenever an existing customer also places an order, I go into that chat and I again say thank you for your order. Because when other people see people ordering, they're like, oh, what did she order? I wonder what she ordered. Or maybe I should order something. It's been a while since I've ordered something. So that's a good way to kind of keep people wanting to. The whole FOMO thing is so real. I can't even, it's real. So yeah, take advantage of that. Also, if I reach out to a customer, or a customer reaches out to me because they've had amazing results, like with Rush, people are losing weight. There's tackling their spring cleaning, they're doing everything, all the things, and they'll message me directly. I'll ask them, do you mind going into the chat and, just say whatever you just said. You can literally copy and paste. I don't care. And they'll do that. And other customers are in there. Oh, I've been wanting to try this. Oh, and I can't tell you how many times I've had an existing customer go in and order something new that they haven't tried because of another customer who shared their feedback. So that's huge. Another thing that I do is I send thank you cards for every order. every single order. I don't care if you're a retail customer, or you're a new customer, existing customer, I will send you a thank you card. I will put a sample of a product that is in a bundle with whatever they ordered. They ordered gold, they're getting Boost Brew. They ordered balance. If I have burn and gold, I'll send that. But I always send a sample of something that is in a bundle with whatever they ordered. So that way, if they like it, then I'll say, hey, did you know we have this in a bundle? That's how I upsell. That's the only way I upsell. And that works out really well because they'll want to try things. Now, if someone, like with Rush, for everyone who ordered the month before, I just sent out Rush samples. And I had so many Rush orders last month because of what I did. So I definitely recommend doing that. Another thing is to create stories that say thank you. Obviously, you've already thanked them in the chat. You can't thank them enough. I'm all about customer service because if I don't feel, as a customer, if I don't feel appreciated, I'm going to take my business elsewhere. Why bother? What are you doing for me? I could get that anywhere else. They could go to Christy and order from Christy if Christy's, giving out better customer service than I am. They could go to Duet. She's my sister. Of course, they can go to her. I mean, that's a no-brainer. So take care of your customers. So I do the thank you in my stories, and I will tag them. And if I had a lot of orders one month, I will save them all and I will do them about a week into the next month so that people will then order in the next 3 weeks. So that big brain. But yeah, so I will go, and when someone's going through my stories, they will keep, looking because they will see all the customers, and then they'll think to themselves, oh, people are buying these things. Or they might even see a name that they recognize and they might go to that person and say, so what'd you order? And I have had people do that. So that's a great way to do that. So a lot of it, yes, I've enrolled. I didn't realize I'd enrolled that many, but I have enrolled people, but a bulk of my my volume comes from my customers, my customer retention, because we have that chat. I'm always in there. I check in on them. I check in on them. I thank them. I send them samples, and that just keeps them coming back. So that's basically it. And one last thing is posture is everything. People will only buy from people they trust and people that they know. So make sure that you're representing your brand in a way that represents your values and just what you believe in. We say, wave your Bravenly flag proudly. Like, honestly, if you don't have, and I did this on purpose, because this is what I do. I've had people ask me if they can just get the cup. And I'm like, well, if you're going to get the cup, get the coffee to go in the cup. Like, because we have, yeah, I want one of those. But yes, be proud of what we have here. Don't think of this as, oh, this is just, my side business. I love Aspen and I'm doing this because I love Aspen, but I don't really know about, no, find a product that you love the Jesus out of it and promote it and be excited about it. And people will be drawn to that because we do have amazing products. Just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. Like burn doesn't work for me. Gain weight doesn't work for me. So I'm not going to talk about burn. I'm going to buy the breakthrough bundle. I'm going to give away burn, send samples of burn because it works for other people, but it just doesn't work for me. So that's basically it. Thank you.
That was so good. Oh my gosh. I took a bazillion notes. I love. I was like, ooh, what is even my favorite thing that you said? Oh, seriously. I love that you strategically hold all of your thank yous. And you guys, at the end of the day, like she said, you are that first line of defense of customer service and the last line. Corporately, we have strategies in place that we're doing to help you retain your customers and doing things like that. But it's a personal touch that they care about, like you said, that they know and they trust you. But the other reason why you want to post on social about it, like the thank yous, is like she just said, the FOMO, but it shows that your business is growing growing. And when your followers see that other people are ordering these products, or when you enroll a brand partner posting that, it's showing that what you have is working. And that person that might be like, it's going to go, okay, I just need to do it. I just need to buy this. Other people are doing it. I've been wanting to do it. I just need to do it. So thank you so much, Coley. That was literally fire, and so incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys, we are going to move over to Miss Christy Haney in Tennessee. She has just over 10,000 in volume. So she just hit, she's not even officially been shouted out at a conference yet for hitting the 10K club. So the next one she will be, and she might be in the 25K club at that point. So she's been in for 12 months. So she averages 855 a month. So well over the 700 club. She has 58 retail customers and 7 ambassadors for a total of 65. So she averages about 5 to 6 a month as well, which is absolutely incredible. So Christy, if you can unmute and kind of give us some of your tips of how you are doing that.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Like you said, I just hit 10K. I've been like watching that number for the last few months because I wanted to get there. So I'm excited to be here. I've got a couple things I want to share. And Coley, I loved yours. I just wanted to tell you that. I love the samples that go with a bundle. That was like my favorite thing you said. So, so with me, I do love social media. It's something that I use a lot in my business. So I try my best to be consistent with social media, and I can always tell, like this month, to be completely honest, I have been less consistent with social media, and I can see that in my numbers compared to like last month. So, I think consistency is key with whatever it is. And I try to personally pick one product instead of sharing like gold one day, balance the next, boost breathe the next. I try to focus on one thing because I feel like if people see that product, because the first time someone sees it, I don't feel like I'll usually get an order from it. I mean, sometimes I will, but if I post that same product all week long, then I'll start to get questions, or I'll start to get like interaction on a story or something like that. So that's usually what I try to do. Gold has been my favorite product from the very beginning. And I think I probably sell the most of gold because that's what I share about the most. So I think whatever it is, and like Coley said, I don't think you have to use every single product or even like every single product. Just find whatever it is for you and be consistent in sharing that. So this month I've focused more on Rush just because it's the newest thing. And I love it. So I've had a lot of Rush orders the last month or so, but that's basically whatever product it is, find that and then be consistent in sharing about that. And it doesn't always have to be like an infographic. It can just be as simple as like you taking a picture with it and, showing that you're using it. And then, you can create a poll or something that says, do you want more info on this? Those kind of things. So it doesn't have to always be so salesy. I guess you can try to incorporate it in a way that doesn't look like you're trying to shove product down their throat all the time. So I think that's probably my biggest tip as far as like sharing on social. And I do that a lot in stories. I use that a lot. Another tip that I will say is I do have a lot of repeat customers. And so I usually will do like if they ordered the month before, I will wait until like middle of the month usually, and I'll follow up with them. So that gives them time to respond to me before the end of the month sort of thing. So I'll usually send a message, or if I have their phone number, I will message them on there, and just kind of follow up, see how they're liking it and see if they need a refill for this month. And another thing I do, which may or may not work for everyone, depending on how many local customers that you have, is I do a lot of bulk orders for people. So a lot of my customers though are local. And so it works well for me because I will ship everything to me, and I will cover shipping for them. So it takes for whatever reason, I feel like whenever you take the shipping off, people are like, yeah, let me do that. And I know it's not a big expense, but I don't know. It's just a mental thing, I think, for people. So I do a lot of bulk orders, and I usually do those around the end of the month. And then, like I said, I'll ship everything to me and then I will get it to them. However, so, it takes more time, I feel like, because you do have to go and take the time to either meet them or get it to them, or they have to come pick it up, whatever the case, however you do it. And I know that it might not work for everyone, but I do find it beneficial for me, just covering that shipping charge a lot of times. So yeah, that's mainly all I got. Just be consistent with whatever it is, whichever product that you decide to do that week or that month, making sure you're following up. And then, like I said, I do a lot of the bulk orders cover shipping. So
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And Christy, one of the things that you do is one of the things that I used to do, and that's focusing on like one product for like a week at a time and then shifting. But you guys, like she said, when you go into your favorite store, think about your favorite place that you like to buy clothes. You don't love every single piece of clothing in there. In fact, there's a few pieces of clothing you're like, ew, that's gross. I would never wear that in a million years, but it's still your favorite store, right? You go back to it. And so find those things that work for you and consistently be talking about them, because you know them like the back of your hand. If I were to ask Christy anything about gold right now, she'd be able to spit it out, right? Now, could she do that for every product? No, I couldn't do that for every product either. And I work for the company, right? You find what works for you. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. That was incredible. All right, you guys, now we are going to move over to Duet, who is Coley's sister. I don't know if you guys caught that the other day. Coley lives in California and Duet lives in Alaska. So this is very early for her. Thank you so much for waking up at the crack of dawn to be on here with us. So you guys, she has almost 1,200 in lifetime PBV, which is absolutely incredible. She's been in for 16 months. So she's averaging $740 a month. Awesome. Well over the 700 club. You will see all of these ladies today are averaging over the 700 club, which is awesome. So she has 19 retail customers and 54 ambassadors for a total of 73. So she's averaging 5 to 6 a month, or 4 to 5 a month, which is absolutely incredible. So Duet, if you can unmute and kind of give us some of your tips that's helping you get into those clubs every single month.
Yes, hi. I love being the last person because everybody says everything.
Well, that's okay. If you're repeating it, people will go, I need to do that.
But yeah, like Ashley said, I'm Coley's sister, and I'm also I'm in her team. So she's my leader, and we basically do almost the same things, except that she's more tech savvy and I'm more like, yeah, whatever. I'll just post it. Who takes it will take it. Trust me, if you've seen my stories, my photos are the lowest quality of probably everybody's photos on social media. But see, that's me. That's how people get to know me. And I relate to a lot of people in that sense, where there's a lot of people like me out there, and that's my target, and that's where I'm going for. I also share a lot about myself, where I can build relationship with people that can relate to me. And that's where I slowly reach out to them, or they would reach out to me and say, what is that pink drink that you're drinking? What does that do? And then I'm like, oh, can we talk? Because I'm more of a talker than a writer per se. I don't get that excitement into my writing so much. So I rather call somebody and be all over the place because I'm dramatic like that. So yeah, I relate to a lot of people like that. And I don't know. Most of my customers, I don't reach out a lot, to be very honest. They reach out to me. So I'll count that as a blessing that I have that attraction, because people can relate to me. They can understand what I'm all about and what I'm doing. So most of them reach out to me, where I kind of like it because it makes my job easier. Another thing that I've learned throughout the 16 months is this job is sort of like, not just this job, but life itself is sort of like the same thing as spreading those seeds. Like, some will fall onto rocks, honestly, where people are just not interested whatsoever. Some will be among thorns, where you're going to get rejected. You're going to say, haters are out there. But there's no, I mean, who's to say that nothing can grow in between thorns? Because trust me, they will come by. They will. And some, of course, will fall into good soil, but that's just the trick. You just have to keep spreading those seeds. And just be yourself. I go live a lot lately, where I'm really scared, but hey, if you don't feel like doing it anyway, you're gonna be 90 regretting the fact that could I have been successful if I only just did that, and I'd rather get the no, I'm not interested now, than we'll never know. So yeah, and most of the tips that Coley said are what she's been teaching me of doing. So I've been doing that, and I'm not an organized person. I'm more focused when I'm messy. I don't know if somebody can relate. I cannot write a chart. I cannot do that. It just messes my brain up. I rather just look for people to come in and Coley, you chart them, because I don't like to do that. It just messes me up. So that's just me. And I don't really have like tricks anywhere where I can, or tips that I can really share that Coley hasn't mentioned that we're doing. But yeah, build your target list. Like, just don't go with the flow. Like, Coley is more into running and sports and being active and physical. I'm not. I'm more into food and laying back and being goofy and all that kind of stuff. So I have my own target. She has her own target. I cannot do what Coley can do. I can only do just what I can do. And trust me, there's people out there like me, and that's yours. So go grab them. They're there. You have to keep looking and looking. Yeah, I think that's it. And the main thing that we do, I don't know about everybody here, but the main thing that me and Coley does, guys, prayers will open doors. I promise you. You cannot say you believe in God, but then don't have that faith. You have to have that faith, and that faith will shine through you, and people will see that, and the right people will come. And yeah, I guess. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not good at this.
No, that was awesome. That was incredible. And I think, like you said, you're on Coley's team. So because Coley is doing those things and she's teaching you to do those things, you obviously are following suit with a lot of that. But what you just brought to the table, which I think is so important, is people have to remember to be them. People will, like, Coley said, the posture of people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so if you're not putting yourself out there and not sharing who you are and sharing bits and pieces and parts of your story, there's nothing to know, like, or trust about you. And so they will go somewhere else, to somebody else that they know, like, and trust. And so I love that. I love that you don't just share about the products, but you pull in and you bring everybody into you. Like, just being around you, it's contagious. I don't know about any of you guys, but like, I want to be her customer, like, just because I love her and who she is. And so I think it's great. And the other thing that I got from what you said, you guys, is you cannot grow and stay comfortable at the same time. It can't happen. Okay. Growth does not exist where comfort levels stay. Okay. It just doesn't happen. And so if you want to grow in any capacity in this business, you have to do things that are uncomfortable. you have to, and if you think about like, you know, you stretch to, I was a cheerleader, right? And I was not flexible. I could not do the splits. I had to stretch in order to do that. Was it comfortable? No, it was extremely uncomfortable, but guess what? I ended up being able to, and that is like that with anything in business. You have to stretch yourself to be able to acquire a new skill, to be able to do something new. So thank you guys so much, all of you, for sharing those tips. I'm going to close by showing you just kind of giving you a tip, and then I'm going to go live in a couple of days as it gets closer to the end of the month and screen share some reports that you guys can be using that are your best friend. All right. But we have 11 days right now to close the gap in volume. So no matter where you're at with what your month is looking like right now, one of my favorite things that was said today is Coley said, set goals. If you don't start the month and know what you're looking for, how can you even get there? Right. And even Duet, she's a very, like she said, she's not organized. She doesn't do this, but I can guarantee she knows what she wants at the end of it. Right. She knows her goal is this. All right. So know what your goal is, know where you're at and how much volume is left for you. So I would, when I used to build, starting on the 20th of the month, the last 10 days of every single month, you guys, I would scrape in 10 to 20 to 30,000 in volume the last week by just doing 3 things. And that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to do a different live because this is getting a little bit long and just screen share with you guys. But I would look at my numbers. I would look at my back office, let it be your best friend and let it guide you. I would look at where was my volume at, okay, and how much volume is needed. So for example, say your goal is 7,500 in volume this month, and you're only at 3,800 right now, okay? And you're like, I still have half the volume to do. How am I going to do that? There's only 10 days left of the month. How in the world am I going to do $3,700? That's 336 in volume every day. Well, when you and your team lock arms together and you know how much volume is needed, that's like 3 bundles. Those 3 bundles just anywhere in your organization sold that day. But when you know how much volume is needed and reach out to your personally enrolled, get them active, you reach out to people and let them know where they're at for the clubs and help them get that volume. You reach out to people in your organization and see what rank they're at and what is needed to get them to that next rank from a volume standpoint. You guys, let the numbers guide you into where you need to be. So I am going to screen share 2 things just to kind of show you some numbers to help you guys get into some of these clubs. Because one thing that I know all of these women do is sell bundles. They're not just selling coffee, which is my favorite thing, but it's not very much BV. Okay. So whatever your number is right now for you, okay, for this month, whatever your PBV is at, maybe you're only sitting at 120 PBV and you're like, man, I really want to get into the 400 club. How much volume do you need? And then figure out and focus, like Christy was saying. Let's say you need 300 in volume. You need to sell 3 Golden Brew bundles. So focus on Gold and Boost Brew all for the rest of the month, you guys. I guarantee that consistency will show. But this image is in Bravenly Nation. I would save this to your phone and know, like we talked about, what are your products that you want to focus on? What are the things that you're going to be talking about consistently? And how many do you need to sell between now and the end of the month to help you hit your goal? The last thing that I want to share with you is something I shared at Ignite in Michigan this summer. But this is just kind of a big picture thing. How many of you want to go senior director in our company? That's about 5,000 in group volume every single month. Or maybe you've hit it and you've had a couple of bad months and you want to get back there. Okay, look at these numbers. If you just focused on getting everybody active, it would take 50 people, because 50 people times 100 gets you 5,000. All right. But if everybody in your organization focused on getting to the 400 club, it would only take 13 people to get you to 5,000. You and 12 others, if you and 12 others focused on doing 400 in sales every single month, you guys would be a senior director organization. Okay. Now, what I want to share though, is let's say you did have 50 people on your team. Okay. If you had 50 people on your team and each of them were focused on doing 400 in sales a month, because you've set that tone, you would be at 20,000 in group volume. You would be past an executive director and on your way to VP. The reason I share that with you guys is, one, I want you to close the gap for your own sales this month to help you get into another club for your volume, for your paycheck. But I also want you to think, when you make a goal for yourself of 400 every month and you teach that to the people in your organization, you're creating habits. You're creating good habits that then lead to how organizations grow. Have you ever looked at somebody and gone, oh man, they're just so lucky. How'd they go VP? How'd they hit executive director? I guarantee you it didn't just happen. They had to make it happen. And part of the things that we do in our success steps, right? Enrolling 4 customers a month, hitting 400 in volume, those are right behaviors that if you know, like the back of your hand, and make it a goal every month, and then duplicate that and teach that, you guys are going to start seeing volume on top of volume on top of volume. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Lisa and Coley and Christy and Duet for coming on here and sharing your guys' tips. Hopefully they helped. I'd love to see some aha moments from you guys. Comment them in our in the Facebook Live, what your favorite takeaway was and what you're going to implement. All right, we'll see you guys next week, Monday. And Aspen Emery is going to be doing Monday Motivation, our CEO, next week, Monday, with you guys, as I'm going to be traveling. So be super, super excited about that. She always brings the fire. And I hope you guys have an excellent, awesome week. I will talk to you soon. All right. Bye, everyone.